Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, everybody? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are here for the Wednesday 8-game main slate. James, we got 8 games here. We have 7 teams that are on the second leg of a back-to-back on this slate. So it should be quite interesting and entertaining to see who is and who isn't going to play here, given the number of questionables but actives that we had on the Tuesday slate. Really only losing Stephen Curry there from
Trae.
And
Trae
Young for the birth of his child there as well. But a lot of the other questionables ended up playing on the Tuesday slate. So very eager to see what happens here on the Wednesday. We are supposedly officially going to see the debut of the Phoenix Suns trio on the floor together with Booker, Beal, and Durant, all expected to be active for their matchup against Minnesota. One of those teams that are on the second leg of their back-to-back here. You've gotten word that Darius Garland is already ruled out here for Cleveland with that neck injury. We know guys on Portland have already been ruled out. So some guys to pay attention to, some guys we know are out, some guys we know are in for this 8-gamer already.
Yeah, and just taking a look at Las Vegas, we can hop over there immediately. What stands out right off the bat? Dallas, Washington. Dallas coming off a drubbing, or they got drubbed by the Pelicans, unfortunately. But that's a 242 total in Dallas, Washington. Dallas 5.5-point road favorites. Knicks, Hawks 231 is the third highest total on the board, and then Sacramento and Los Angeles Lakers. Those are the 3 games over 230. Slate low here, John. 216 in Orlando, Chicago. What a doozy that one's going to be. I really just can't wait to watch that.
Orlando on the second leg of a back-to-back here as well. Something to pay attention to. Let's get into this point guard position here. Luka is 12-1. He is the most expensive player on this slate. Joel Embiid, second leg of a back-to-back against Boston. He's 11-6. Giannis, 11-1. Booker's 10-3. AD's 10-2. Tatum, 10-1. LeBron, 10K. Those are your guys up over 10K just for reference when it comes to talking about these top spend-ups here. So you have Luka at 12-1. Maxey at 95. Maybe a returning Trae Young here against the Knicks. He always likes to play the Knicks. $9,300 for him. Thoughts on the top tier guard position? I guess we throw Donnie Mitch in that conversation as well. $9,100.
So first off, shocked you just scooted past Tyrese Maxey at $9,500. I know you said it, but like emphasis on 9,500 for sure. It's kind of. I mean, I know he's been worth it. I'm not saying he hasn't been, but 9,500 against Boston, not the greatest debut in the 9Ks, I'd say. Listen, I would say for the Luka case to be made, like, dude, Washington is so bad. Like they had a 98.9% probability of winning that game the other day against Toronto, up 26 in the third quarter or whatever it was, and lost. And I don't know if you saw their team total. They needed 2 points in the final 7 minutes to hit their team total, and they did not hit it. Like, that just, like, they are actively terrible. So if there was ever a time Luka or Kyrie would have a ceiling, that, and of course that's what I said about the Tuesday slate, but they got blown out. Run it back. They don't have to play a fourth quarter in the Tuesday slate, so maybe they'll have a little fresh legs, a little get back. Like, yeah, we got blown out, but now we get Washington to get back.
I agree with you. I don't love that it's a second night of a back-to-back on the road here, but sure. Not playing, obviously the third is useful.
So I am okay getting to Luka. I don't assume they're just like going to be like, hey, Devin, like, I know you did this already, 35 minutes. I'm going to pass on that. The guy you just flashed on the screen is where I want to go.
I was going to say, how much rostership is going to Donnie Mitch at 91 when he's been 10K, 96, 95, 96, 93, now down to 9,100 without Darius Garland in the lineup. the last 2 games had Darius Garland in the lineup, or 3 games rather had Darius Garland in the lineup. So now we're going right back to that big usage jump for Mitchell here at $9,100. He's going to be an automatic plug and play for, I would imagine, most on this slate. And I feel the same way about De'Aaron Fox at $8,300 against the Lakers. Like, they didn't touch De'Aaron Fox's price tag. He came back. He played 36 minutes. He gave you 42 fantasy points. So both of those guys scream too cheap for me.
Sorry, I just watched Draymond Green choke out Rudy Gobert 2 minutes into this Warriors.
Did he get ejected already?
I'm assuming they haven't handed out the ejections, but there is going to be a lot of ejections. I think there was just a fight 2 minutes into the game, John.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a fun time. Draymond has been such a fun player to watch this year. It's been such a joy to watch him play basketball and just get thrown out of every game because he's been a piece of crap in pretty much every game. Sorry.
So Jaden McDaniels threw a punch at Clay, it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that started the brouhaha here.
Yeah. And then if you watch, Draymond comes over and just straight up just chokes Rudy Gobert out.
Well,
just chokes him out.
That's good.
So I hope Draymond's suspended. That would be wonderful.
What exactly was McDaniels doing with Clay, though? I guess is my question.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, there was a little scuffle. If you see before the play, when Edwards shoots, there was a little some extracurricular.
The tip-off just happened. There had to have been some things going on pregame here.
Draymond thrown out. So official word.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Kevon Looney shares to the moon, I guess, there.
Jaden McDaniels, Klay Thompson ejected.
No.
Klay Thompson ejected. Jaden McDaniels ejected.
What was the Klay rostership?
And Draymond Green all ejected this evening.
I mean, dude, 2 minutes into the game,
three starters ejected.
That is insane. Let's see what the rostership is on the slate for those guys here. Wild. Let's see. Do we even have it updated yet? I don't even see it updated yet. So many people played
Warriors.
So
I thought, yeah.
Doesn't seem like there was a lot of rostership on that game, but I mean, that's wild. Let's see. Do we have Clay? Clay was only 4%. So people escaping that. Do we have Draymond rostership?
If Clay's only 4, I can imagine Draymond's no.
Yeah.
Negative.
Wiggins is 7. Wiggins value up. Yeah, nobody played Draymond here. Yeah, 1% Draymond. So sadly, for our sake, because we didn't play either of this game. But I would imagine if you played a Klay Thompson prop, you might get rebooted here. Or I mean, it wasn't his fault, right? Like Jaden McDaniels is out here the one grabbing jerseys and throwing punches. But
that was a very. I'm sorry that I derailed the show.
I was gonna say we spent 10 minutes now live reacting to this issue, but
I mean, to be honest, we could just, and why not just keep going, double down?
Yeah, no, we're not stopping. We're rolling through it.
Like throw Draymond, like, dude, just suspend him for like multiple games at this point. Where if this is going to be a continuing issue, just suspend him because he just choked somebody out, so he's going to get suspended to begin with. But like, just suspend him, and don't listen to his podcast. Yeah. Either.
Well, he probably already has an episode loaded up. He's ready to go.
Yeah, he's probably loading up from the locker room. Yeah.
Anyways, back to the slate. Now that we're into this, I like De'Aaron Fox at $8,300. That's a great price.
Yeah, that's a fantastic price. And you know what's funny? You and I both ended up pivoting to him in that slate. I had a lot of Kings exposure sans De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I set my lineup to have Garland, Fox, and LeVert in that game, so I could have the pivot ability if needed to. It didn't have to. I just kind of left it the way it was.
Yep.
Garland, unfortunately, was kind of the letdown of that one. LeVert had himself a good second half, and Fox is great. So, but definitely like De'Aaron Fox at $8,300.
Why is the price going down? I don't understand that. Like his
I don't
87,
know.
87, 87, 84, 83. Hello?
Again, like core play for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Lakers on the second leg of a back-to-back here, but they're home, right? So
Yep.
not really movement on that one. Bradley Beal 71.
It's a good price.
It is a good price. Everybody's playing. He's playing minutes. Could be a competitive game against Minnesota that just had half their lineup ejected.
I think it's a it's a very good price. You like the 30 minutes in back-to-back games. Random foul trouble, random turnover game for Bradley Beal, and also he missed all his shots. Like if he makes those shots, he's going to approach 40 fantasy points and
I feel
7,100.
like there's a ceiling assist potential in this one too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I kind of like Beal at 71, Mays up to 7K. Do you go there?
Dude, he's really good. Like if there's no Brogdon, I don't think we have. Do we have official word on Brogdon?
He says he's out. I don't know.
Well, that was for Tuesday. Well, that's DraftKings always being delayed that's the Tuesday note. I assume he wouldn't just like because he was never like in, right? They were just like he's out. He's not playing. He's not like. I'd assume he's not going to play again. Skylar Mays is right now could end the Tuesday slate with a double-double. I don't think that would be
that'd be 3 straight games with a double-double for him.
So yeah, I'm okay. I mean, it's again, you said it on the yesterday's podcast and live stream. Cover the name and you'd be like, yeah, I'm playing this guy.
Right.
That's how and I think point guard, shooting guard. I do not think he had that in the last slate. I think he was point guard only.
Sure. Working our way here down the list a little bit more. Shooter was a big letdown. Drew Holiday's at 69. Jordan Poole priced under 7K now. Derek White gets a price bump after a tough game. I don't know if we're going to be going there. Thoughts on the under 6K or under 7K ish range for the guard position?
Holiday, has a ceiling. We saw floor last time. That's kind of been that's kind of been Boston experience, right?
Yeah.
We've said this all along. Same thing with White. I don't like the price bump, but there is a ceiling still.
White went for 38 against Philly in that game a couple games ago.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like you could play either of these guys. Schroeder does like this is a good matchup. I know Washington was too. The peripheral stats were there, but 1 of 12 shooting. Yeah, just missed everything. Probably not going to go there. 6,800. That price does not feel all that great. Yeah. But Milwaukee, dude, they continue to not be good defensively. So like you can keep playing people against them and gush fantasy points. I think the next place I'd honestly probably go Tyus Jones 5,700.
We're going Kobe White for a moment there.
I mean, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Tyus Jones 57. We know Quickly is a tournament play. Barrett is they've already said he has a migraine. Right? Yeah. So we saw 26 minutes from Quickly with no Barrett. Like now 26 minutes in 3 straight games.
Imagine if he doesn't go 1 for 10.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he has a high ceiling. The Fultz news is obviously big. Didn't play on Tuesday. Assume because he doesn't play Tuesday, you have to. Like he was never playing Tuesday. They rolled him out on Monday. I don't think he'd play Wednesday. So like any of the Magic guards are all tournament plays. But Kobe White, 5,500. Don't like that he didn't close that game. But the minutes have been pretty secure. The shot attempts have been pretty secure. The steals have been pretty secure. The steals have
been a nice little improvement for him here.
So I think you could definitely get to Kobe White here.
Sure. Then again, you mentioned the Fultz thing. Cole Anthony always off the bench, a threat to score. What do we do with Trent and OG get ruled out again?
We just got pretty big news live for Wednesday's slate. No DeMar DeRozan, John. So like
speaking on Kobe White,
yeah, Kobe White for sure. That's a bump for him. What did you talk about? Conley? Was that the question?
I mentioned what do we do if Trent and OG are ruled out again?
Is that a question because Malachi Flynn played 24 minutes the other night or 23 minutes or whatever he played?
Yeah, I got the run again. A little bit of run. Again, didn't do too much with it, but did get the minutes.
Yeah, it's a good spot. You could, I mean, if no value opens up, I don't hate 3,600 for a guy who could play mid-20s minutes.
Sure. Moving on over to shooting guard. I guess that puts Zach LaVine at $7,700, like right in the lineup here against Orlando.
Yeah. Him and Vooch are probably at the forefront. Vooch revenge against Orlando as well.
Yeah,
So
let's
like you
see how the
have
lineup look like then without DDR. I mean, DeSono was there, played the 25 minutes, didn't do anything. I was worried about the floor potential with him. Does Caruso come back?
yeah,
Questionable.
that's the caveat. I would say they could eventually go like
Patrick Williams, Torrey Craig in the same
yeah,
lineup.
you could do that, or you just play one of the guards and shift everything down, like Javon Carter or Io to start. It's not a 7 o'clock start either. Chicago's been pretty good about releasing the lineup early, so maybe we'll have some clarity there. My assumption would be Caruso if he plays. If he doesn't, Pat Will and Torrey Craig start together.
Okay. I'm good to go on Anthony Edwards here at $8,900 because I was going to pay 91 for him on the so
True.
definitely down to pay 89 even on the back-to-back here against Phoenix. Should be a battle of teams that are contending to be the top of the West this year. So yep. I like Edwards at 89. Mentioned already liking Donnie Mitch here. If Trae Young doesn't play, obviously Murray would be playing $9,100 as well. We're assuming Trae does play. Moving down on the list here, where are we? I guess we already mentioned LaVine. Anybody else in that range? Anybody underneath that you're immediately kind of finding yourself gravitating towards?
I don't hate the Jordan Poole minutes the last 2 games. I don't hate Jordan Poole's last game either. 16 shot attempts, 35 fantasy points, 6,800. Good spot against Dallas, who's playing pretty fast themselves. The highest game total on the board. That's going to be a common theme with the Washington Wizards, but 2 top 10-ish teams in pace and 2 bottom 10 teams in defense. So
Jordan missed his point prop again. It was 15 and a half. He had 14.
Missed his point prop again, but he was still like pretty good from a fantasy perspective. I don't know if you did see the clip though. At the end of that game, he was not paying attention to the coach drawing up a play, and Landry Shamet tried to get his attention, like, dude, pay attention. And then they broke huddle, and Jordan Poole's going like this, trying to look at the coach's clipboard because he didn't know what to play. So that's where we are in Washington right now. We're only 10 games into the season, but
it's hard to make Draymond look good, but Poole's so far making it look good for getting punched like that. So.
Yeah, he's making him look like something.
Karis LeVert under him though.
Yeah,
he's coming off the bench, playing well. And another 20 actual plus point performance for Karis LeVert there.
And is he going to come off the bench here? No Garland.
No Garland. Good point. No Garland. Probably starts. It's a good point. It's a great price. We've got the goated eligibility, shooting guard, small forward as well. I think so far, then I guess if we're building our lineup here, kind of doing it on the fly. What do we got? We got
little Cleveland stack here,
we
Johnny.
Got Mitchell. We got LaVine. We have LeVert, and then we have Fox in our guard spot.
And we'll see what else is open. I mean, the Bulls obviously have value that just opened up.
Well, I was going to say you can just throw like Craig in there at 4K in your power forward position.
What's the Craig price versus the Pat Will price? Because Pat Will was great last game.
39. Save $100 for Pat Will here.
He was really, really good in that game.
I'm down to saving the $100 if we want to go there. Like a little 48.66 to fill out the rest of the lineup. We haven't even come across the rest of the positions yet. So
yeah, we're not even. Yeah,
let's keep scrolling. Let's keep finding our way down. Other guys in this 6K and under range. Hoarder. I guess there's Lakers matchup here.
No,
Middleton maybe eventually gets a minutes bump at some point.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's until we have confirmation. It's a just full.
Look how good he's been though.
He's a great basketball. He's a great basketball player. I would say just Max Strus. You want to talk about goated eligibility? How about Max Strus, 5,600, John, who lit the world on fire the other night. Helped some people get over the cash line, and 35 fantasy points in back-to-back games, 29 in 4 straight, and now no Darius Garland again.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather play LeVert or Strus?
I mean, for right now, like LeVert probably has the higher ceiling. Strus is the better price. So,
Okay. Well, we'll see what we need to do as we move our way down here.
Right.
Bogdan up to 54. Melton coming off a ceiling game as well. Lakers, we can't play any of these guys unless someone is ruled out. Caruso would obviously be entertaining if he's in.
He would.
He may even start.
He may. He does that. Even when he doesn't, he has games where he plays 30 plus minutes off the bench. So
Yep. Caruso would be a pretty interesting pivot there off someone. Any other shooting guards?
I guess like it's worth mentioning the Patrick Beverly thing, 3,900, right?
Yep.
He played 28 minutes off the bench. He does not have a crazy high ceiling, but he is a guy who stuffs the box score. I'd be a little worried if he was like guarding Drew Holiday or something that we just get instant foul trouble for him. But it's an entertaining thought, especially if they're only going to play Bob Cove like 15 minutes, no matter what.
Moving on over to small forward here. JT is at 10-1. LeBron's at 10K. If you want to play him, you can. You got a $9,200 Scotty Barnes coming off of a really strong game due to the steals. Beginning to get overshadowed a little bit by Pascal Siakam.
Yes.
So I don't know where you would lean between the two here on this slate.
We've been talking about that, I think, a little bit more because Siakam's looked good lately. And Barnes still, was like kind of just had the ceiling start where he was shooting out of his mind and he was doing everything. And he had another really slow start in that Washington game and then still just managed to squeak his way to 5X, right? So like, yeah, dude, like you can play this guy because he has a crazy high ceiling. I do think I would rather just like look
$500 less is Siakam.
Dude, I know. And that's the thing. Like, and we've talked about it a couple times now. Siakam has been their guy for the last few years. Like, he just was off to a bad start.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally, Scotty Barnes to the moon. Scotty Barnes is still up there, but now Siakam is like ascending back to where he was. The only thing I'll say is Siakam is a semi-foul happy guy that's going to be guarding Giannis in this game. So like that is maybe somewhere where you look at this game and you're like, I know you can save money, but you could play Scotty Barnes, who probably, and it's hard to guess because maybe they put Scotty Barnes on Giannis.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Those two guys can play 4 positions. So
I would say both guys are firmly in play for me. Like I like the spot for Toronto. Fast-paced Milwaukee team, bad defense.
I kind of hope RJ Barrett is out again because I'd like to play Josh Hart.
True. He'd be one of the first people in our lineups.
He would definitely be one of the first people in our lineups at $5,700 there.
43 minutes, John. 43
This wasn't an overtime game, folks.
43 minutes.
Never left the floor. Talking into the Atlanta guys, Bogdan, Hunter, Bay to 48 here. Could certainly go there. Where is he? There he is. Up to $4,400 now.
Yeah, your boys they're pricing your boy out. They knew you were giving him shouts. And also, like, instead of playing Hauser 44, you just play Koulibaly 45.
Yeah, you probably play Koulibaly. Yeah. Can't argue the minutes, right?
Yeah. If they're going to start giving this kid that much run, and he's actually going to be productive, like, he was this guy defensively. That's what he was known to be coming out of the draft. What is with Washington drafting international like players that are defense first?
Yeah, Denny's coming around.
So is Jan Vesely.
Yeah.
Shout out Jan Vesely.
What did our guy do? 24 minutes for Grady Dick here?
It was a solid run. He had and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gary Trent is doubtful. Yeah, he's doubtful, and I think OG is doubtful as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I said. Like, what do we do with this position here? They started Otto Porter. We're not doing that again, I hope.
No, we're not. And they bumped his price $600.
Yeah. So,
no.
Precious had a big game.
Precious and Boucher, they were like the two closers.
And Precious is 45 now. I guess he was 46 last time. So.
And what is Boucher?
Boucher is 41, power forward only.
We know the Boucher ceiling.
You know the Boucher ceiling. G League MVP 2013.
As my dog, Zeus, come on, bro. You don't like Chris? You don't like Chris Boucher?
He woke up. He says, "No thanks, sir." Power forward. KD is $9,900.
It's a good price, but like
it's a good 10x price. 5x price.
Given it the first game, I am gonna wait. I'm in a wait and see approach, I think. Yeah. Right? Because that's tough to. That's gonna be
if no RJ Barrett, Julius Randle at 82.
Yeah, dude, he's been great. Fantasy wise, he's been great.
Yeah. Better lately.
Super consistent. 4 straight games of 40 plus.
Do you like Kuzma at 81 or Randall at 82 if there's no Barrett?
Oh, Randall. Multi-position eligibility, 40 plus fantasy points, massive pace up spot for the Knicks.
Boncaro at a price dump here to 77.
Yeah, and the Bulls suck, so
been 8K for a little bit there.
And they suck.
Mobley's down to 73 as well. That price is coming down.
It's a good price. No Garland is obviously a bump for everyone in the offense because Garland's a high usage player.
Yeah. Good spot against Portland there. Jeremy Grant is his matchup. Keegan, even with Fox back, had himself actually a decent little game there. Another 40 fantasy points.
Big game. I think there's like times where you can look at a situation and just be like, that guy makes everyone else better. That's what De'Aaron Fox does. Because like Sabonis had a monster game, Keegan Murray had a monster game, and I know it like in theory takes away usage rate, but is there any coincidence that Keegan Murray had his best shooting night with De'Aaron Fox in the lineup? De'Aaron Fox draws so much attention.
All right.
Keegan Murray's just getting open looks everywhere. And the good thing about it is we saw the peripheral stats still there, even while he was shooting well. So, I'm definitely fine getting to Keegan Murray.
I'll always say Bobby Portis is a tournament play, and he popped again, 39 fantasy points.
Dude, kudos to you. Kudos to you for you nailed the Bobby Poe because he does not.
He doesn't need it.
He does not.
Second time this year, he gave you the double in 20 minutes. Could do here against Toronto too. It matches up well for him. It's a good matchup for him. So. Now, $5,700 is not like 54, was he? What was he priced? Yeah, 54.
Yeah, 54.
It's getting up there. I don't want to need 30 fantasy points out of my 25-minute guy. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll also see a Hachimura. If anybody sits for the Lakers here, it's good to still sit at 49. It's a good price. We talked Bay already. Maybe Grant Williams finds a role here against Washington. If you want to sort of dance with that devil. Mo Wagner, 48. John Isaac probably doesn't play the back-to-back here.
Yeah. Wagner time, baby. I'm going to popcorn machine that. I think, what was the game where he played 26 minutes? What was the...
It wasn't a back-to-back. It was 11-6.
11-6. But I think 11-6 okay. Isaac sat. I think that was the game that Isaac sat, which is what my point is. They have to, if Isaac's not there to close, Isaac did not play in that game. Mo Wagner played the final 16-20 of that game, John. Oh, baby. Oh. You know I'm a sucker for a Mo Wagner
listen, you're welcome. You're welcome for just speaking out that John Isaac won't play the back-to-back into reality here. So
that is glorious news. What a day. This is my favorite slate. And he's playing against the Bulls, which is great for me because I can watch Mo Wagner, one of my favorite tournament plays, demolish the Bulls franchise into oblivion where they trade all their pieces and start the rebuild for the 33rd time since Michael Jordan left, and it's going to be glorious. Shout out to you, Mo Wagner.
ESPN 30 for 30, the house that Mo broke.
Dude,
came up with them to fly. We'll workshop the title.
Yeah. It's good.
What are the guys that do the rodeo with the Bulls? What are those things called there? You know what I'm talking about?
Rodeo.
I don't know.
I'm
talking about the Spanish people, the red capes.
Yeah, running.
Like
I mean, that's like running. Yeah,
something like that. Anyways, we'll workshop the title. ESPN's 30 for 30.
we'll workshop.
Yeah,
30 for 30. Yeah,
we'll
we'll
get it.
submit
We'll
it.
get it
Yeah, we'll
going.
submit it.
All right, let's go to center. We already have Wagner locked in there, but we'll talk about some other ones. Like Joel Embiid against Boston. Didn't seem to bother him the last time they played. He went for 54. Doesn't seem like anybody seems to bother Joel Embiid these days.
No.
Porzingis is also questionable for this game. So.
Oh no.
Forgot about that.
Maybe that's why we got the Hauser bump. So like realistically, let's just play this out. Obviously, Horford starts. That would be the clear pivot. Does Cornette play, or would they just decide?
No, Cornette will be the backup big for sure.
But Horford can't.
Well, I guess Horford had a 30-minute game.
He did. He had 36 minutes against Minnesota. So I guess he'll match the Embiid minutes.
If they need him to, he can play that for sure. He played 30 minutes against Brooklyn in that game as well.
I was just thinking if they could possibly get away with more Hauser. I mean, but I just don't think
it probably translates to a little more minutes for Hauser. Because I mean, they're not going to go. They just plug in. Obviously, they'll just swap out Zinger for Horford with their current rotation. But I mean, I don't know. They might go smaller for a little bit in that game. Because I mean, Paul Reed's not a big guy, so and we did see them not well, but they played Tatum at the 5 times last season. Wasn't great, but we saw it.
We did. We
saw it. It wasn't good, but we saw it. All right, so Zinger is questionable. We got to keep that in mind. AD on the back-to-back. Sabonis at 98 with Fox backs here. Definitely would like Randall and Siakam. We've discussed that. How do you say no trade? Do you play Randall or Siakam?
Probably Randall. Get savings. But I don't feel good about it. Siakam's just went for 53 and 67 in 2 of the last 3 games.
I'm pulling up Court IQ here to see what the Bulls situation is for our guy Vucevic.
I mean, with DeRozan, he's gone 42, 50, 54 the last 3 games. I don't know if you saw the notes today. Nikola Vucevic has been at the forefront at criticizing Billy Donovan's offense. He does not like it, and also, Billy Donovan got an extension early last year. So,
Vuk only has a 20% usage rate, but he's not a high usage rate player generally anyway.
That's not a. I would say usage rate for centers outside of Embiid.
Kobe White gets the biggest 7.7% bump with no DeRozan. So we were probably already rocking Kobe White. What's the White price? Can we just get White in there? Oh, we're so close.
Well, we'll probably end up
workshopping. Maybe get
because you can do. Yeah, I already have it. Levert to Max Strus. Yeah, there it is. Boom.
With money to play.
With money to play.
If we wanted to 3-man Chicago here against Orlando, probably not a great pace spot for them. But
no, it's terrible. It's the worst game. Worst game.
Worst point spread. Worst game. All of that stuff. But anyways, Vucevic 20%. Let's see, fantasy points per minute. Why is this not? There we go. Per minute. Fantasy point per minute for Vuk without DeRozan, 1.04. Caruso is actually your highest fantasy point per minute guy, 1.14. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. Kobe White, 1.09.
1.09.
Yeah, Levine's 1.01. He's basically he has the highest usage rate, but just a fantasy point per minute on the floor for him. All right. So other centers then in this mid-tier group after Vucevic, anybody popping off for you?
I mean, of course, Gobert, Ayton are both fine. Gobert's been really, really good defensively this year, so we're seeing the Gobert pop games every so often. I don't hate it. Jared Allen, you know what he's going to do? He's going to play 28 minutes, but he's under 6K, so people are probably going to play Jared Allen, especially without Garland too. Both Atlanta centers are always in play. Dude, Daniel Gafford has just a massive ceiling. when he just steps on the floor. Like if he can just be on the floor, he just has an
He'll get in
insane
foul
ceiling.
trouble, right? Yeah.
He doesn't get in foul trouble, and he doesn't close games. Like they don't close with him. You're gonna get the 36 fantasy points in 3 quarters, and then it's just like wrap it up. Daniel Gafford's
I mean,
not
these
coming
block
back to the
totals are
fourth.
crazy for the minutes he plays. So.
Yeah, he is an insane shot blocker. He's a good rebounder, and he's really good around the rim, like just catching lobs. He's a good finisher around the rim. So yeah, I mean Gafford 54.
They literally
I
bought
would
Luke Cornett with the anticipation that Porzingis isn't going to play. It's $4,600.
Yeah, I mean, there's no what was his last price?
I don't know why that was either, but there's no reason for him to be where he's at. Yeah, he's playing blow. He gets the blow up minutes, and I guess he actually produces a little bit here, but or at least he beats up on Brooklyn. But anyways, funny to see Cornett at 46 for really no reason whatsoever. Agonku 49 coming off of a good game, but we got a little pricey, I think, for me there.
Yeah, it's getting pricey until anything under or anything approaching 5K is a little pricey while he's still exploiting.
Any other centers for you?
I mean, if Isaac's not there, I know we're playing Mo Wagner, but I would probably play Goga I'm sure Mo Wagner is going to get more ownership, right? And just naturally, it's like Goga's the starter. Maybe Goga closes the game. He closed that first game against the Lakers. Goga was on the floor 26 minutes, right? So you don't if Mo Wagner's not playing well offensively or gets cooked by Vooch, like they're going to go back to Goga. So just my thinking there.
I need Goga on there for Vucevic too. Like I don't know.
Yep.
All right. Well, we kind of already built our lineup. We have $600 to play with. Would there be anybody you'd want to move around here?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to getting off Levine, but there's no one to get off Levine with.
We'd have an $8,300 guard.
Well, you can move Donnie to $8,300.
That'd be Brunson against Atlanta. That's not terrible.
I mean, that would be a good one. Look at the couple games that Brunson. I mean, the first game that Barrett missed, Brunson went for 45 actual. That was in the Milwaukee game. Barrett didn't play that one, and then he had 26 actual. He's just hurt. The peripheral stats just suck for Brunson this year because Randall's doing everything. He plays with Josh Hart now. Like Josh Hart is a peripheral stat monster. So I like Brunson, but it's a better matchup. I will say this, that even with DeRozan out, it's a slow-paced game.
You probably want Brogdon ruled in, and we could just play Brogdon, right?
Yeah, he's not gonna. I have a feeling if he got ruled out really the night before. I feel like anytime you get ruled out the night before, you're just not playing the next day.
But yeah, Brunson actually makes a lot of sense to do that. So Brunson and then Donnie Mitch.
And the pivot's there. If we want to play Brunson now, we just
$8,300 util, I guess it would also be in play for us. Or would you be Randall? Would you play Randall or Brunson?
Yeah. I would play Randall probably. Actually, I think Brunson obviously has shown the higher ceiling this year, but I think.
That gets you that. That gets us Kobe White, Donovan Mitchell, Max Struss, Patrick Williams, Mo Wagner, De'Aaron Fox, Koulibaly, and Randall for $100 remaining. Not a terrible lineup.
Not a terrible
lineup. Nice high upside plays there with Mitchell, Fox, and Randall.
I love it.
Gamble lineup for everybody. Dylan will be on your playbook for this Wednesday slate. You'll know where to find us in that Discord and on the X Twitter machine. If you have any questions, get us there. James, any final words for those tuning in here today?
No, nothing. I don't think
we will see you live 5 o'clock Houston, everybody. Talk to you then.